The views and opinions expressed on Wrestling Winedown are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, employer, or company. What's up, guys? It's Lo, and you are tuned in to Wrestling Winedown, a female-founded and hosted podcast dedicated to professional wrestling and our favorite adult beverage. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to stand in front of almost 50,000 people ring announcing at one of the largest WWE pay-per-views of the year? My guest Raine Cruz lived out that dream. Raine was the winner of the WWE SummerSlam Tik Tok ring announcing contest that happened a couple months ago, and she had the opportunity of a lifetime to ring announce at SummerSlam right here in Las Vegas. On this episode, Raine will spill the wine on her entire experience, including how she found out about the contest, the time and effort it took to create not only her TikTok account, but the entries themselves, as well as what it was like to show up to Allegiant Stadium right here in Las Vegas on the day of SummerSlam, and the superstars and legends that welcomed her with open arms. We'll also chat about Raine's experience beforehand as a ring announcer and what's next in her career. So grab your glass of wine. We're going in for the 3 count. Without further ado, Raine Cruz, welcome to Wrestling Winedown.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
When did you become a professional wrestling fan?
I started in 2006, right before I moved to the US in 2007. So maybe like halfway into 2006.
Do you remember the first time you came across wrestling? What was that experience like? Did you have like family that watched it, or was it just you?
Honestly, it was just me. I just remember just being at home and flipping through the channels, and then I saw John Cena, and I believe
Same.
I mean, who wouldn't stop when they see John Cena? I'm just saying. But yeah, I saw him, and I believe it was Monday Night Raw, and then I was just like, what's going on here? Because there's chairs involved, and I can't remember what match it was. All I knew is that I found it interesting for some reason. And at that time, since to me, I was about to move to the US, I was looking for English programming that to me, I'd find entertaining. And at the same time, I could listen in and it's English. So that was one of the programs that I ended up watching, WWE.
You've been a fan for quite a while now. What has kept you interested in professional wrestling?
Oh, God. Probably the fact that even though there is a storyline, it's still unpredictable because it's a live show. So you can't really tell what might happen. Obviously, there's those unfortunate times wherein people get injured. So the stories end up changing, or something like, for example, when Becky Lynch was trying to turn heel a few years ago, right? But the crowd didn't want her to turn heel. So instead, she became the man. So stuff like that, wherein the crowd gets involved into the storyline or into how like the story would move forward.
Who were some of your favorite wrestlers that you enjoyed when you first became a fan? And who are some of the wrestlers that you enjoy now?
So before, definitely John Cena and Batista.
Yes.
And then Trish Stratus and Lita. I remember like watching Trish Stratus's last match. It was at a movie theater in the Philippines. Because at that time you can't get like pay-per-views at home. You have to go to the theater. So I remember it was like 9:00 in the morning. Like my father took me to a movie theater just so I could watch the pay-per-view. The current ones, definitely Charlotte Flair. I feel like she's really strong like in playing her character. If you look at her Instagram feed, she has like a bunch of like modeling pictures, right? And you wouldn't think it's the same Charlotte Flair that you see in the ring, the queen with an attitude. You can't really tell it's the same person because she plays her role so well. And when Roman Reigns turned heel, I started acknowledging him, believe it or not. Because like Roman Reigns as a babyface, I was like, I don't know about this. And then when he became heel and now he's with Paul Heyman, I was like, okay, I love this duo. But now with Brock Lesnar involved, I don't know what's going on. Who else? I mentioned Paul Heyman. I look up to him because to me, even though he's not a wrestler, he's a strong character.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's like, he's still like engaging, even though he's not doing any moves at all. He comes out there, the crowd, even though he gets booed, the crowd acknowledges him.
Right.
Whether you love him or you hate him, he affects you somehow. So to me, given that he's not a wrestler, I look up to him because to me, it's like his character is so strong. He's not just like, he's kind of like, okay, he's supposed to be in the background, right? But he doesn't really just like sit in the background. If you think about it, he still kind of stands out on his own.
It's interesting that you say Paul Heyman, because I was actually thinking a couple days ago randomly how long he's been in the professional wrestling business and how involved he is. Just you think about how he was so involved in ECW, and that was a while ago, and now he's still involved in storylines today. Like, who would have thought that he would be involved in professional wrestling for such a long duration of time? Usually you think of managers and stuff and they come and go, but he has remained such a consistent force within the WWF, WWE, ECW. So, I mean, he's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Like, the guy knows how to play his character well. I mean, I don't know if that's how he is in real life, but if he is, then I wouldn't be surprised because he just embodies that character. So,
right.
But we all know that people in the wrestling world, they play characters. So I'm really hoping I would meet him in person someday and kind of like see the difference between the real Paul Heyman and the wrestling Paul Heyman.
Do you watch any other companies besides WWE?
I do watch AEW every now and then whenever I get a chance to like catch it. What else? I know like on Instagram, I do follow a bunch of like other promotions, and that way I can kind of like see, what's happening at this promotion, that promotion. I do love the fact that we had Empower, I believe it was last month.
Yeah.
Yep. And because I was hoping that WWE would have another women's pay-per-view, which when was that?
That was actually 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping they would have another one. And maybe because of the pandemic, it didn't happen. But, here comes Empower. So that to me was really cool to see like a pay-per-view, like just all women.
And I know Impact recently did their tapings for a whole knockouts or women's pay-per-view. So, these companies are starting to take note of other companies. So hopefully WWE does bring that idea back around to do another evolution.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'd love to go to that. I didn't get a chance to because it was in New York, I believe. So to me, I was like, I was really down to go. I just couldn't get the day off at work. So I was like, I have another one so I can go.
I was shocked to learn before we actually started recording that you have only been ring announcing since March, and you said it was an accident. So how did this whole journey begin for you when it comes to ring announcing?
So basically, I guess let me just backtrack with starting my YouTube channel in 2019. I was just trying to think, how can I get into the wrestling industry? And my husband and I were watching SmackDown. And at that time, Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's manager. And Asuka was also the SmackDown Women's Champion. And my husband, who's not a wrestling fan at all, just randomly said, why can't you be the Paul Heyman for Asuka? And I was like, interesting. So I started recording like promos of myself as Asuka's manager. So this is 2019. And then eventually I started doing my wrestling recap videos as well, which, fun fact, I actually started with SummerSlam 2019.
Oh, wow.
And then fast forward to 2020, when the pandemic started, I found an online wrestling class with Santino Brothers here in Southern California. And, they taught us about wrestling psychology, how to cut promos, like, basically the business and all that. And, so I built my connections, and one of them referred me to my very first promotion, which is Orange County Championship Wrestling. So my promoter there, he saw my YouTube page, and he's like, okay, do you want to try interviewing the wrestlers? So my very first event in February, I interviewed the guys after they're done with their matches. Here comes March, another promotion saw me, which is Venue Wrestling Entertainment, showed up at their event in Yuma, Arizona. And that was basically a 4-hour drive from where we lived. And I showed up and I asked the promoter, so who am I going to interview? And he's like, well, we canceled the interview. And I was like,
what?
I was like, okay, is there anything else that I can do here? And he just said, well, we don't have a ring announcer. And I just said, well, can I try? I have never done it before. Just to be clear, I've never done it before. But if you are willing to give me the shot, I don't mind trying it out. And he's just like, sure, go ahead. And I did it, and he let me do it throughout the night. I even told him, are you sure about this? So I was like, I mean, I know you're kind, whatever. Like, are you sure you want me to keep doing this all night? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, like ever since that night, he would book me as his ring announcer for his events here in Southern California. So yeah, I've been ring announcing since March of this year. SummerSlam was technically my 11th wrestling event. Mm-hmm. As a ring announcer, it was my 7th event.
Wow. You spoke about SummerSlam. Let's talk about that. So you won the WWE SummerSlam TikTok contest to announce a match at the show here in Vegas a couple months ago. So this whole contest was done over social media. They showed a couple clips on TV of people that had entered their videos and stuff like that. Can you explain the process of how you entered, how you heard about the contest, and why you decided to go for it?
I found out about the contest the day after I was contemplating about my life, if I'm really on the right path, whatever. You know, sometimes you get to that point when you question
right.
Is this really the right path for me? Like, what am I doing? And I just knew this is what I wanted to do, you know? But yeah, the next day I got a text from my friend, and he said, hey, did you hear about WWE having this TikTok announcer contest? And my initial reaction was, of course it's on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. I had one before, but I couldn't figure it out. So I was like, I'll stick with Instagram. Mm-hmm. But, you know, to me, it's like, okay, well, you know, let me see how it goes. So basically I had to record like myself announcing some of the superstars, basically like a duet with WWE. So I figured that out, and my TikTok literally had like maybe 60 followers. Mm-hmm. Mostly people that I know, because I just kept begging people, please follow me. I just started this account. I want to win this contest. So yes, I recorded my videos, and then you know, you add the hashtag WWE announcer contest. And I just remember thinking, I don't think I'm going to win this, because every time you click that hashtag, you can't see my videos. Like, you have to keep scrolling for you to see my video. So I was like, okay, I better upload more. What if some crazy reason they somehow see the other ones, right? And that would be check out my profile. So I recorded a few more, and then to me, it was just like, okay, well, I don't know exactly what they're looking for. You know, in my head, it's like, well, I just started ring announcing this year. I don't know if they're looking for someone who's really experienced, or are they looking for a fan who has like a great gimmick? I wasn't sure, but all I knew at that time was it's free to post a video. And my mindset was just, you know what? This is actually cool, because in a sense, I was also getting my reps as a ring announcer. You know, I'd record myself, you know, I'd ring announce like WWE superstars, which I had never tried before. So to me, I just found it entertaining as well. And so to me, I just kind of kept submitting entries, because in my head, well, it's free. Not going to charge me anything for this, so why not?
Take me back to the day you found out you won the contest. How did they contact you, and what were your emotions hearing the news?
I found out that I won Wednesday night before SummerSlam, the week of SummerSlam.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so that's why to me, I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I wasn't sure how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. But to me, I was just like, well, my husband was telling me, well, no news is good news. So just hang tight, you know, you might hear back. And next thing I know, I see this email saying, congratulations, you won. And my initial reaction was, I was literally just on the floor crying. And my husband's like, what is going on? Why are you crying? Like, he thought someone died. Like, I was literally having my Oscar moment of the year. I was just on the floor crying. I was just so overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. And then I couldn't talk. And I just handed him my phone, and he saw the message, and he's like, oh my God. Like, he couldn't believe it. And it was so surreal. Because like I said, I didn't expect that I would win at all. I just knew in my head that, you know what, if it's for me, it will be given to me. And you know, if not, something else would come up, you know. But obviously, I really wanted to win, you know.
Right. Yeah. Did they tell you which video they had watched or anything like that?
Actually, no, they didn't tell me. But all I know is that part of the rules of the contest was you only have to do like the duet with WWE videos on TikTok. And I uploaded extra ones, but I don't think I was judged on those.
Oh, okay. So just that original one you posted. Okay.
So. Yeah. So yeah, I was just, and I couldn't tell anyone because it was, I respected WWE's decision of they will be announcing, me at some point as the winner, and I didn't want to get disqualified. So, so I was just like, okay, well, I don't want the anxiety of wondering which one of my friends will just randomly post this on.
Right. Yeah. Very true.
So I was just like, well, they'll just find out when they watch SummerSlam.
Take me back to the day of SummerSlam. What were your emotions heading to the arena and then being in the arena with over 45,000 WWE fans in attendance?
Yeah. So the day of SummerSlam, we got there really early at like 8:45 in the morning. And, I got to meet, a lot of people, and I was just really excited. I had visualized being in the WWE ring for so long that sometimes I'm wondering, like, why am I like visualizing this in my head so much? Like, but I just know in my heart it will happen one day, and so to me, I just could not wait for the realization of it, basically. So I was just like really excited. And I got to meet a lot of people. And to be honest with you, it felt like my husband and I had met these people before, because everyone was just very welcoming. People behind the scenes, current WWE superstars, WWE Hall of Famers. It was a very welcoming environment, which made me feel comfortable to just, basically be myself and do my thing.
Did you have any moment, or did you meet any superstar where you were almost like fangirling, like you couldn't believe that you were meeting them? Did you meet John Cena?
Oh, well, I had met John Cena like years before in Vegas, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh,
no. God, like probably like years ago, like in 2007 or 2008, they had like a convention at the right next to Hilton. It's not Hilton Hotel anymore, but it's right next.
Oh, yes, it's Westgate now. So it must. Oh, was it it was probably the convention center somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was Mr. Olympia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do that every year, I believe. And around that time, 2007, 2008, John Cena and Batista would go there for I think they were like the official brand ambassador of like some protein shake, something like that. But so like that's how I met him. But yeah, no, I did not meet him at SummerSlam. I did see him. I basically met people who were kind of like close to where I was, because everyone was kind of like busy. And at the same time, it's like, to me, my mindset was, you know what? Okay, as much as you meet like so many people here, you have like a business to do here. Like I didn't be seen as a fan. I wanted to be seen as Raine Cruz, the ring announcer. She got here, she got the job done. So to me, it's like, oh, cool. It's nice to meet everyone. But to me, my lasting impression that I wanted to leave was, you know what? She came here, she got the job done, and, she left. Like what Stone Cold says, arrive, raise hell, leave. I didn't raise
right.
But yeah, I remember at some point we actually had to rehearse, because they had to show me where I had to stand. We had to do an audio check. So I actually had to ring announce at least once for the rehearsal, because they had to check how loud I was with the microphone. And after that, I got out of the ring, and this lady approached me and she's like, congratulations, great job. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And in my head, I knew who she was. It was Molly Holly. And then, so she was like shaking my hand, and I was just like in my head, oh my God, you're Molly Holly. And
my God.
And then she's like, I'm Nora. And in my head, it's like, of course you're Nora. I know you. And then I think she saw like my confused look. And then she pulled her mask down. She's like, Molly Holly. And I was like,
oh,
nice to meet you, ma'am. Nice to meet you.
Oh my God. What a sweet moment.
Yes. And the thing is, she didn't have to do that. And I have a bunch of like stories like this. And then, people didn't have to do that. People didn't have to approach me and say, congratulations, great job. They didn't have to do that, but they still did. Like Beth Phoenix did that as well. Same thing, like right after my rehearsal, she congratulated me. Well, with Beth, I was like, for some reason, I thought of my coworker, Beth. So I was just like in my head, I was like, why is Beth here? What is going on here? Like, and she was like, I'm Beth. And like, she saw like a confused look in my eyes, and then she like pulls her mask down. She's like, Beth Phoenix. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like so crazy because I feel like I've watched these women, when I started watching WWE and wrestling in general, and the fact that they are Hall of Famers now, the fact that, they've been there, done that. And they went up to me and told me, congratulations, great job. Even after the kickoff show, they saw me afterwards, congratulate me again. They're like, great job. And it's like, it was very special for me because I looked up to these women.
Right.
And these same women, like, actually, told me, congratulations, great job. And again, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that, but they took their time to congratulate me and to encourage me. So that was really special for me.
What has the reception been like since your appearance at SummerSlam?
Well, first of all, my family and friends were surprised. They were shocked. They had no clue.
They were probably trying to figure out why you didn't tell them.
Well, to be honest with you, when I started my journey in the indies, I didn't tell my family. There's not a lot of my friends that knew, because I was just kind of like, you know what, let me do my thing. Like, I get teased a lot with who you like wrestling. Like, really, it's fake. And it's like, to me, it's like, just let me do my thing, So right. I never really like told my family. And then like later on when the contest happened, I was like, please download TikTok, like my stuff. And they're like, what? Wait, what? You're doing this? And when I won, they found out afterwards because they saw it on my social media. They were just shocked, and they're very happy for me. I had friends who were at SummerSlam, and I remember them, hey, can you make sure you're at your seat around pre-show or before pre-show starts? Because my husband and I will be looking for you. That was like my way to make sure that they were actually seated right before the kickoff started.
Right.
So they were
smart.
They were waiting for us, and lo and behold, they see me like, announcing. Yeah, they're very happy for me. Afterwards, I got like a bunch of messages. They're like, we told you, don't lose hope. It's going to happen. Because I was like, man, I still haven't found out. It's a week before SummerSlam. I still haven't heard anything. La, la, la. Like, just relax. Okay, just relax. If no one has told you yet, you'll be fine. The indie circle, it's really cool to like go to my indie shows afterwards, and like, I have like some people who like walk up to me and they tell me, we were at SummerSlam, we saw you, you did great, congratulations. It's just like really sweet that, number one, that they would approach me and they find me approachable still. Because the last thing I want is for people to think that, oh, okay, she, won the contest, she's probably not like approachable anymore. Like, totally not, I'm still approachable. I'm still the same person. Like, someone told me the other day, like, oh, you're a superstar now. Like, I just won a contest. I'm still the same. Like, it's like, I'm still the same person. I'm still the same Raine. It was just, it's definitely like a great blessing, great opportunity, but I'm still the same person. One of the greatest things that happened would be, my, in the Philippines, because I was born and raised in the Philippines, they found out that I won, and like I have like a bunch of like podcasts and media outlets that were interviewing me, and they see my story as like a story of someone who just chased her dream and they found it inspiring. And for me, like, to be able to inspire my countrymen, it's just like a big bonus for me, because like for me, I wasn't sure if this dream is going to happen at all, and it happened. And if I could inspire at least just one person to believe that anything is possible, then to me, that's, oh my God, I'm really grateful for that.
Can we anticipate seeing you announcing a WWE ring again soon?
Oh God, I hope so. I know the contest, it's just a one-time thing. However, to me, I feel like, they saw what I can do. And I hope that whether it be WWE, AEW, or any other like wrestling promotion out there, I just want to ring it out. So anyone out there who could see me and, think that, hey, maybe she'll fit in our programming or in our show. And I just love to ring it out. So
she's ready to get hired, y'all. You better hit her up. Thank you, Raine, so much for joining me today on Wrestling Winedown. Where can the people find you on social media?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, efforting on TikTok. I am uploading videos on TikTok. I'm still learning.
That's your outlet now.
Yeah. At Ringside Raine, that's Raine with an E. I'm also on YouTube at youtube.com/Ringside Raine. And for those of you who are in the SoCal area, Southern California area, or in Orange County, I do post my events on my Instagram page. So if you guys ever want to check out my shows, please check out my Instagram at instagram.com/Ringside Raine.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wrestling Winedown. You can find all of our other episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWDCAST. Let us know what you thought about the episode. What was your favorite part? Until next time, enjoy your wine and, of course, enjoy your wrestling. Cheers!